Hello and welcome back to the Ironside. Hope you are doing well after our little break, celebrating being European champions. Never going to get tired of saying that. We are back, and today we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. We're going to address all the rumours. Obviously, I'm talking about Declan Rice and his protracted move away from West Ham. We'll talk a little bit about that and about some of our transfer rumours. And we'll go on. We'll go into it. But before I do that, if you are new here, please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the video. And if you could drop a little comment down below, let me know what you think about our transfer window, where you think Declan Rice will finish the transfer window at, where he's going to start next season, and what's best for his career. But yeah, anyway, we're going to jump into the video now. So, as you would have seen today, we received what I'm going to assume is the first of many, many offers this summer for Declan Rice. And it comes with good and bad news. The obvious bad news is the inevitability and the realisation that Declan Rice is 98% certain to move on this summer. I know all West Ham fans, including myself, held a little bit of hope that he'd come out and say, no, I'm staying. It doesn't look likely, but there's a couple of good things that come out of this. First of all, the money that we're asking for is already out there, so the teams after him already know what it's going to cost to get him. Two, we've had a bid the first day the window opens, which gives us more than enough time to plan for. Now, no one's ever going to replace Declan Rice, but it gives us enough time to plan and implement transfer strategies to fill the Declan Rice-shaped crater that's going to be in our midfield next year. So it gives us a lot of time to do that. But what a piss take from Arsenal. So, like I was talking about, you would have seen today we received an offer from Arsenal. So Arsenal have been in talks, their backroom staff have been in talks with our backroom staff for the majority of the time in between the season, the Premier League season finishing and now. So even before the Conference League, there was talks ongoing. It wasn't anything concrete done. There wasn't anything agreed, but conversations and bridges were being built to make the deal as smooth as possible for both parties. Now, in those conversations, West Ham made it clear our valuation of Declan Rice was between 100 and 120 million. He would not go for a fee less than 100 million. Now, whether that could have been including add-ons or players, I'm not too sure. But Arsenal turned around and said, yeah, sweet, yeah, we got that money, we can do that. Let's make it happen, which is why we saw so much news and media coverage about Arsenal in personal terms already basically being agreed. Rice wants to go to Arsenal. It's all spin, it's all media spin. He does want to stay in London. That's pretty obvious. He wants to stay in London. That's his preferred choice. So Arsenal is his preferred choice. I think if Chelsea had a season like that we expected, Chelsea would have been his preferred destination because he's a Chelsea fan. Let's not kid ourselves. But he wants to go on and win titles and Champions League. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I categorically do not think Arsenal will finish in the top four next year. Now, I think they might be around it, but I don't think they'll finish in the top four. I think you're going to have teams outside of European places this year that are going to come back much stronger next. You've got Chelsea that are going to come back strong with a new manager. You've got Tottenham going to come back strong with a new manager. You've got Liverpool going to come back stronger after their little rebuild. They're going to get in a couple of midfielders. I'm going to assume they'll get someone else in after already signing McAllister. You're going to have Man United that are going to push on. Newcastle are going to push on. You cannot tell me that this Arsenal team, bearing in mind Arsenal are looking to get rid of Xhaka and Partey, their two mainstays in midfield, and replace them with Declan Rice. And now they pulled out Caicedo, so I don't know who else they're going to get in there. I've seen Havertz has been linked today, which is an absolute joke. The money Chelsea want for him is an absolute joke. But anyway, that's not the point. I cannot see Arsenal competing on all fronts next year. They might get to a Carabao or FA Cup final. They might go far in the Champions League. But I can't see them competing on all fronts, which is what Declan supposedly wants. Now, for me, the obvious answer to that would be Man City. Man City haven't really seemed that interested for a few reasons, mainly because Rice plays in that sixth role for us, and they have Rodri, who is arguably better at it. But Pep is a genius, and he obviously sees the bigger picture in Declan Rice because today there's been links coming out about a second team interested in Rice. Now that is Man City. Man City is the only other team that can really put together a financial package to pull Rice away from us, and also with enough cups and trophies. The trophy cabinet is magnificent. So why wouldn't Rice want to go to them? They have the money to do it, and they have the power to do it. It's just whether they wanted him. It's made clear now that they do. And I think he sees Declan Rice as a potential successor to that Gundogan role. Now, I'm not saying Declan Rice will be anywhere near as effective as what Gundogan is now. But you've got to look back to when Gundogan was back in Germany. He wasn't the goal scorer that we see now. For large parts of his City career, he hasn't been a massive goal scorer. He seems to come alive at these crucial periods of time. They need to have goals. They need to add goals from midfield. Obviously, they still got De Bruyne and Rodriguez, the odd one. So Man City will be looking to bring in another midfielder. But that being said, they still got a lot of work to do to get over the line. Arsenal have made the first steps, and today they offered 80 million plus 10 in add-ons. But one thing that you might not have been aware of was how that 80 million was coming about. Now, supposedly, I've not seen this. This isn't factual. I've just read a fair few articles from fairly well-trusted people that it was a 6-year payment plan of 13.3 million a year. So there was 13.3 million paid for Declan Rice, and then for the next 6 years, we got another 13.3 each year concurrently to add up to the 80 million. And then on top of that 10 million in bonuses, what was only if they won the Champions League or the league or the Premier League, which is mind-boggling. How they thought that was ever going to prize them away, I don't know. I think my guesstimation is that Arsenal believe Rice wants to go. He's been quiet, so it's hard to say what's really gone on because we don't see what he actually says. They believe he wants to go, so they think that Rice might try and force through the move, and maybe they're just trying to unsettle him with that bid. And then the problem that we see now is that maybe it's our West Ham sources creating this bidding war, saying that a second party's coming in. I don't believe it is. I think Man City will come in with an offer, and it's rumoured to be between 70 and 90 million and a player. Now, I don't know who that player is. The obvious one would probably be Calvin Phillips, but he doesn't want to come to West Ham. Why would he? He played a total of 8 minutes this season and got 3 trophies. So it potentially could be him. They've got a couple of young players that I know have done quite well. I'm not too keen on that as an offer. I don't want 2-3 players that have limited Premier League experience that only really got any stature in the game because they come from Man City's academy. That doesn't make them good players. It doesn't guarantee them Premier League players. I'd much rather cash up front or a Premier League proven player. And then additionally, there'll be a bid coming from Arsenal tomorrow, which is going to be the bid that we thought they were going to come in with today, which is going to be around about 90 million with 10 million add-ons. Now, I know Sullivan is a greedy man. He's like one of those goblins in Harry Potter. He sees the money and wants to pocket it. He's going to be tempted by this offer. If it's 90 million on the table and 10 million in add-ons, probably the same add-ons that Arsenal put in today. I'm not saying that he'll accept it, but I don't think he'll be rejected as quickly as what today's bid was. That being said, it is also projected that there'll be an offer from Man City coming in the next 24 hours. So you've got to keep your eyes on that. As for me, where I prefer him to go, I would have loved Rice to go to Munich, because I have no affiliation with any German team. I could potentially watch Bayern Munich and not care. I'd probably grow to support the team almost, seeing one of our own playing for him. That was never really had legs. Rice is definitely home egg. Is that a phrase? Have I just made that up? I think I made that up, but it sounds good. He's definitely not going to leave the UK. I can't see it. I couldn't see it at the time, but it would have been nice. It would have been the best option for us, because the only time we'd ever see him play again against us would be if we were in the Champions League, which would be phenomenal. So the best out of a bad situation for me personally would be to see Rice turn out for Man City next year. Plus, on top of that, we play Man City at the City ground, at the Etihad, sorry, at the end of the season, which would just be phenomenal. Imagine it goes down to the last game of the season, they've got to lift the trophy, and Rice is there playing in front of us. Our fans would stay there and watch it. Now, that being said, I want to address something real quickly before I dive back into where I prefer him to go and whatnot. But I tweeted out earlier this week that for me personally, I love Declan Rice. I love what he's done for the club. But as soon as he leaves West Ham, I have no affiliation with him. I'm not going to clap him. I'm not going to sit here and boo him. I'll appreciate the fact he's a good footballer, much like I would. Now, I'm not saying he's the same caliber of player before anyone starts pissing and moaning. But as much as I appreciate Kevin De Bruyne, I sit there and appreciate. I'm like, every time he does something brilliant against us, I'm like, God, there he goes again. But against other clubs, it's a joy to watch. And that'll be the same as Rice, where he turns up at Arsenal, Man City, United, Chelsea, or anyone. I'm not going to sit there and clap. Like, it infuriates me how, like it happened with Lingard when he went back to United. He scored that screamer against us in like the 87th, 88th minute, or whatever it was. And our fans were clapping. I'm like, it's mind-boggling. Like, everyone supports their club differently. I get that. So I just wanted to address that quickly. I will not be clapping him when he moves. I will clap him for England. Yeah, that's different. But yeah, I'd prefer him to go to Man City. I can't see many people wanting him to go to Arsenal, especially with the way that their fans and whole clubs acted this year. The whole the way they treat referees and the respect they have for officials is appalling. I think Mikel Arteta makes up rules and gets to do what he wants on the side of the pitch. I don't like Arsenal as a club. I didn't mind them before the season, but I think it's just rotten to the core. I think they're writing these new rules where they're allowed to put pressure on referees by crowding them, screaming and shouting at them. You see it with a lot of United players as well. Bruno Fernandes is really bad at it. He's got better this year, or the latter part of this year anyway. But Arsenal players do that. They're terrible for it. Mikel Arteta's the worst for it. He stands on the pitch half the time. I don't think he spends 1 minute in his technical area. And it's just not the type of environment that I want our boy to flourish in. But anyway, we've done that. We've shelved that. We're not talking about Declan Rice anymore. We're now going to talk about potential transfers in, or other transfers out as well, actually, because West Ham is just the rumour mill. Every season it's the same. We get loads of people linked to us. Everyone wants to leave. Like in the last 2 days, we've had Cornet's going, Scamacca's going, Antonio's going, Rice is going. Who else? There was another one. Someone else. There's no way in hell though all 4 of them are going. 1 or 2 might, yeah. Not all 4. It's not going to happen. Like, if you imagine, we've just had arguably our best season in the last 50 years. We won a trophy. And you're then going to sell 4 key players, potentially. 4 key players, yeah. 4, Antonio, Scamacca, I think Cornet will have a big part to play, and Rice. 4 key players. You're gonna sell them and replace them? No, I don't see it happening. We spent 200 million nearly last summer. We need to spend it again, to keep pushing on. It's whether we will or not, I don't know, but I think that's why selling Declan Rice is happening so early on in the window as well. I think it's to maybe put some money back in the owner's pocket. Let's be honest, that money's come from somewhere last summer, and it's probably come from the potential sale with Declan Rice. Now, we've been linked with Harvey Barnes, which is great. I hope we go out and get him. I don't care what they want. I pay it. I love Harvey Barnes. I think he'd be perfect down the left side. Him on the left, Bowen on the right. And then you've got Ben Rama and Cornet as options off the bench. Would be phenomenal. I think that'd be a great signing. Today I saw us monitoring Maddison. Another one that I thought we'd have more interest in Maddison, to be honest. He got relegated with Newcastle, with Leicester, sorry. Now I'm not saying he'd choose us, but throw your hat into the ring. Why not? You just don't know. Another player, Castagna, I saw links with him today, right back. I thought he was very good. Then I heard from Leicester fans he's not very good, so I don't know anymore. Football's a weird game, and this season, teams I thought would do well haven't, and vice versa. Teams I thought would do poorly have done really well. So my football knowledge is clearly not as good as what I thought. And who else have I seen us linked with? There is a big link with us and Max Kilman. Now, Max Kilman is a player that I have really liked for a few years, mainly because he's so good on the ball, which is what I think David Moyes is going to revert back to next season. He wants to play a more possession-based game. I think he's going to try it again. Saying that, Warburton has just gone, so maybe we're going to revert back to a counter-attacking style. Who knows? Regardless, Max Kilman would be a good addition to our team. The only problem that I have with it is the fee would be upwards of like 25 million, and he's another left-footed centre-back. So that would leave us heavy on left-footed centre-backs. We'd have Aged, Ogbonna, and Kilman all left-footed, unless Ogbona's going. And then we'd only have Zuma and Kera as right-footed centre-backs. And Kera, for me, I'm not sure if he's better in the centre or better at right back. I think time will tell with that one. Jury's out. But there's movement on Declan Rice. This ordeal should be over shortly. I can't imagine it getting past June. I think when he gets back from the international break, it will speed up significantly. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And if you are new here, because we had a lot of new subscribers over the last couple of days, and I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video. Leave a comment down below whether you agree with anything that I've said or disagree. It's much better when you disagree, because then the algorithm picks up on all the comments and then it's really good. But anyway, thank you very much. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for the next one. And until the next one, come on, you Irons.